When the world as we know it crumbles, it's not gold or even ammo that'll spark chaos, it's the everyday items you've ignored 100 times at the store. The cheap, unassuming products that suddenly become worth fighting over when shelves are bare and systems fail. In today's video, we're breaking down 7 household essentials that will ignite desperation and chaos in stores after an economic collapse. These aren't luxury items or survival gadgets. They're the basics you'll wish you stocked up on before the panic hits. Stick around, because knowing what to grab now could save you from the madness later. And hey, if you've got your own must-have item, drop it in the comments, because sharing knowledge is the ultimate survival tool. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay ahead, stay prepared, and let's get into it. 1-gallon-size water containers, the unsung heroes of survival. When disaster strikes and clean water becomes scarce, it's not just bottled water that people will fight over, it's the empty gallon-sized containers with tight sealing caps. These simple, overlooked items are the backbone of water storage and transport, yet they're often ignored until it's too late. In a full-blown collapse, these containers will become one of the most sought-after items, and here's why. Once your stored water runs out, you'll need to find more, whether it's from rain, a nearby stream, or emergency aid trucks. But without proper containers to collect, carry, and store that water, you're in trouble. FEMA consistently emphasizes the importance of clean, sealable storage for water, not just to collect it, but to keep it safe from contamination. Yet, most people focus on stockpiling bottled water and completely overlook the need for reusable containers. History has shown us how critical these containers can be. During Hurricane Harvey, thousands of people lined up for water deliveries from fire stations and FEMA trucks. The problem: many had nothing safe to store the water in. Some resorted to using trash cans, old detergent bottles, or even buckets, none of which are safe or practical for long-term use. Meanwhile, those who had clean, food-grade gallon jugs were able to store and transport water efficiently, avoiding the chaos. What makes these containers so valuable is their versatility. They're lightweight, stackable, and easy to fill. You can pre-fill them with tap water before an outage or use them to transport water during the aftermath. Some savvy preppers even freeze them ahead of time to keep their refrigerators cool during blackouts, giving these containers a dual purpose. When shelves start to empty, people won't just be looking for water, they'll be looking for ways to store and ration it for drinking, cooking, hygiene, and even pets. And when someone grabs the last few gallon jugs at the store, it's easy to see how tensions could escalate. Don't wait for the scramble. Add a flat of empty, food-grade gallon jugs to your emergency kit now. Label them for clean water use only, and store them sealed. You can also invest in collapsible water containers, but gallon jugs are cheaper, easier to find, and just as effective. When the collapse hits, having these containers on hand could mean the difference between staying hydrated and standing in line, hoping someone else brought extras. 2 hand-pump soap dispensers, the hygiene lifesavers. In any crisis, hygiene becomes a matter of survival, not convenient. Dirty hands can quickly lead to deadly outbreaks of disease, especially in the aftermath of floods, earthquakes, or mass blackouts. Yet one of the most overlooked tools for maintaining hygiene is the humble hand-pump soap dispenser. These cheap, clear plastic bottles may seem insignificant now, but in a collapse, they'll be worth their weight in gold. When disaster strikes, shared bathrooms, community shelters, and disrupted routines create the perfect breeding ground for illness. FEMA and the Red Cross repeatedly stress the importance of hand washing to prevent disease outbreaks during emergencies. After Hurricane Katrina, for example, shelters faced outbreaks of norovirus and respiratory infections, largely due to inadequate soap availability and the lack of proper dispensers. Emergency workers had to improvise hand-washing stations using buckets and bars of soap tied to poles, an inefficient and unsanitary solution. Here's the problem: bar soaps get grimy and spread germs when shared, and open tubs of liquid soap are breeding grounds for bacteria. A simple pump dispenser, on the other hand, provides a controlled, sanitary way to distribute soap, limiting waste and contamination. It's a small tool with a massive impact, especially in group settings where hygiene is critical. Despite their importance, hand-pump soap dispensers are rarely on anyone's prepper list. People stockpile hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes, not realizing that soap and water are still the most effective way to prevent the spread of germs. And when panic buying begins, cleaning aisles are stripped bare within hours, with soap dispensers disappearing just as quickly. The smart move? Stock up now. Buy a few pre-filled dispensers or empty ones you can refill from bulk soap jugs. Keep one in your bathroom, one in your go bag, and a few sealed for emergencies. Label them for clean use only to avoid cross-contamination. These dispensers are lightweight, stackable, and endlessly reusable, making them an essential addition to any emergency kit. When the collapse hits, clean hands won't just be a matter of comfort, they'll be a matter of survival. And the person with a working pump dispenser, they'll be the one everyone turns to for help. 3. Emergency sealing tape. The ultimate fix-it tool. When disaster strikes, it's often the small, overlooked vulnerabilities that cause the most trouble. A drafty window, a leaky vent, or a cracked seal can quickly turn a bad situation into a dangerous one. That's where emergency sealing tape comes in. Unlike regular duct tape, this specialized tape is designed to resist water, heat, and air pressure, making it an essential tool for survival. Yet it's one of the first things to disappear from store shelves when panic sets in. Emergency sealing tape, often made of foil or vapor-resistant materials, is a go-to solution for patching insulation gaps, sealing windows, and reinforcing structures. During the 2021 Texas freeze, for example, millions of homes lost power, leaving people scrambling to stay warm. Those who had sealing tape were able to insulate their windows, seal off drafts, and trap warm air inside, giving them a critical edge in surviving the cold. Others, without this simple tool, resorted to stuffing towels and cardboard into gaps, a far less effective solution. But the uses for this tape go far beyond insulation. In crisis zones like Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria, people used it to patch water tanks, secure food containers, and even reseal emergency ration packs. Its versatility makes it invaluable in any emergency, whether you're dealing with extreme weather, structural damage, or makeshift repair. The problem: hardware stores don't stock much of it. It's not a trendy item, and it's more expensive than regular duct tape, so most people don't think to buy it until they desperately need it. By then, it's too late. Limited stock and high demand make this tape a hot commodity, and it's not uncommon for fights to break out over the last few rolls. To avoid the chaos, stock up now. Keep a roll in your toolkit, another in your go bag, and a spare for emergency. Label it clearly and use it wisely. This isn't the kind of tape you want to waste on minor fixes. When the collapse hits, this tape won't just be a convenience. It'll be a lifeline, helping you seal out the chaos and hold your world together. 4. Unprinted canvas drop cloths. The survival multi-tool you're overlooking. Most people walk past stacks of canvas drop cloths in hardware stores without a second thought, assuming they're just for painting projects. But in a collapse scenario, these unassuming sheets of unprinted canvas become one of the most versatile and sought-after survival tools. Why? Because they're durable, breathable, and adaptable in ways that plastic tarps simply can't match. Unlike noisy, flimsy plastic tarps that tear in high winds or crinkle loudly with every movement, canvas is quiet, strong, and built to last. It can serve as ground cover, a sleeping mat, a tent liner, a windbreak, or even an emergency curtain. In disaster zones, from hurricane-stricken Florida to earthquake-hit Turkey, canvas sheets have been used to divide living spaces, provide shade, and cover broken windows or doors. They're a staple in temporary shelters, offering both functionality and a sense of privacy. Privacy, in fact, is one of the most critical yet overlooked aspects of survival. In crowded shelters or makeshift homes, having a barrier to separate your space can provide psychological relief and a sense of dignity. Imagine trying to sleep under a window covered with nothing but newspaper or changing clothes in a room lit by candlelight with no divider. Canvas drop cloths solve these problems, offering insulation, separation, and peace of mind. The unprinted aspect is crucial. Printed or painted canvas often contains dyes or chemicals that can release harmful fumes when wet or burned. Unprinted canvas, on the other hand, is safer for indoor use and direct contact with skin. This distinction becomes painfully clear during crises, leading to fights at checkout counters or desperate trades in parking lots when people realize they've grabbed the wrong type. During the COVID-19 lockdowns, canvas drop cloths were sold out in many stores as people used them to create isolation zones for sick family members, DIY barriers in hallways, and window coverings. In colder climates, they were repurposed to line walls and trap heat, turning drafty rooms into warmer, more livable spaces. Their reusability and quiet nature make them invaluable in situations where drawing attention could be dangerous. If you're serious about preparedness, grab a few unprinted canvas drop cloths now. Roll them tightly and store them flat. They're inexpensive today, but in a crisis, they'll be worth far more than their weight in gold. When everyone else is fighting over plastic tarps, you'll already have the superior solution. 5 tall rubber plant pots. The unexpected survival container. At first glance, tall rubber plant pots might seem like nothing more than gardening supply. But in a collapse scenario, these durable, lightweight containers become some of the most versatile and high-demand items you can own. Specifically, the 2 to 3 gallon size pots are a game-changer for anyone looking to store, transport, or repurpose essential resources. These pots are designed to hold soil, water, and heavy plants for extended periods without collapsing, making them perfect for survival situations. When plastic buckets and storage bins vanish from store shelves, these pots step in as immediate replacements. They can be used to store water, carry supplies, ration food, or even create makeshift washing or cooking stations. Their stackable design and shatterproof material make them easy to store and transport, even in challenging conditions. One of their most valuable features is their adaptability. The drainage holes at the bottom can be easily patched with tape, plastic discs, or cloth, turning them into watertight containers in minutes. Their tall, narrow shape makes them ideal for storing bulk dry goods like rice, beans, or oats, as they take up less floor space than traditional bins. In urban areas, they can even be used for indoor gardening, allowing you to grow food like lettuce, tomatoes, or herbs in small spaces. During Venezuela's economic collapse, families used these pots to grow produce on apartment balconies, often bartering their harvest for other essentials. But their uses don't stop there. These pots can serve as stools in camp-style shelters, makeshift waste bins when toilets are unavailable, or even hand-washing stations when fitted with a spout. In community kitchens or neighborhood hubs, having a few clean, durable containers makes you far more valuable than someone with cash but no way to transport or divide supplies. So why do people fight over them? Because they're seasonal items. Once gardening season ends, stores stop stocking them, and in a crisis, they're often overlooked until it's too late. By the time people realize their value, the shelves are empty, and desperation sets in. To prepare, buy a small stack of these pots now. Nest them together, tape the holes shut in advance, and store them in a dry place. They're cheap and easy to find today, but in a collapse, they'll be worth every penny and then some. 6. Bulk plastic cutlery. The sanitation savior. When utilities shut down and running water becomes a luxury, washing dishes quickly turns into a health hazard. In these conditions, bulk packs of plastic cutlery, those cheap, no-frills forks, knives, and spoons become an essential survival item. They're not glamorous, but they're critical for maintaining hygiene, rationing food, and preventing the spread of disease. After Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico in 2017, many families had food but no way to eat it. FEMA field kitchens ran through thousands of plastic utensils daily, often running out during high-demand periods. Reusable metal cutlery wasn't an option. Washing it required water and soap, both of which were in short supply. Disposable utensils became the only practical solution. Plastic cutlery is more than just a convenience. It's a tool for survival. It prevents the spread of germs in shared living spaces, allows for safe meal distribution, and provides a sense of normalcy, especially for children. During the early COVID-19 lockdowns, disposable utensils were among the first items to disappear from store shelves, particularly in urban areas where water rationing was already a concern. These utensils also have unexpected uses. They're perfect for meal packaging in community kitchens, essential for maintaining sanitation in shelters, and even helpful for rationing food portions. A single bulk pack, typically containing 120 to 500 pieces, can last a family for months, making it a cost-effective addition to any emergency kit. The problem: once panic buying begins, these packs vanish quickly. People raid party supply aisles and catering sections, leaving nothing behind. Even restaurants report missing utensil packs from takeout orders during crises. To stay ahead, stock up now. Buy a couple of heavy-count boxes, seal them in waterproof bags, and store them in your kitchen, car, or go bag. They're inexpensive and easy to store, but when the grid fails, they'll be worth far more than their current price. 7. Metal storage cans, the indestructible survival container. When disaster strikes, fragile materials like plastic and glass often fail, but metal endures. That's why metal storage cans, particularly 5-liter paint cans with tight sealing lids, are one of the most underrated yet invaluable survival items. These rugged, reusable containers are designed to withstand pressure, temperature swings, and physical impact, making them indispensable in a collapse scenario. Originally built to store chemicals and paint, these cans are engineered for durability. In survival situations, they can be repurposed to store fuel, carry potable water, preserve dry food, or even act as mini cooking pots over an open flame after thorough cleaning. Their ability to block light and moisture makes them ideal for storing high-value barter items like coffee, sugar, or flour, extending their shelf life and protecting them from pests. In crisis zones, these cans have proven their worth time and again. During the 2021 Beirut fuel crisis, people repurposed old paint cans to store gasoline and kerosene. In Ukraine, families used them to store cooking oil and fire-starting fuel during blackout. Their tight sealing lids keep rodents and insects out, a critical feature in areas where food contamination is a constant threat. But their uses don't stop there. These cans can serve as tool bins, mini trash holders, or even improvised toilets when lined and sealed. Their opaque design keeps contents hidden, adding a layer of security in desperate times. And unlike plastic, they don't warp, crack, or melt under extreme conditions. The downside, they're specialty items, not stocked in large quantities at most hardware stores. When a crisis hits, people quickly realize their value, leading to fights over the last few cans on the shelf. To prepare, buy a stack of unused paint cans now. Clean them thoroughly, label them, and store them in a dry place. Whether you're storing essentials, cooking over an open flame, or bartering for supplies, these cans will prove their worth time and time again. 8. Manual can openers. The tiny tool that becomes a lifeline. When the power goes out and the grid collapses, canned food becomes one of the most reliable sources of sustenance. But here's the catch. Without a way to open those cans, all that food might as well be locked in a vault. Enter the manual can opener, a small, inexpensive tool that will become a hot commodity in any survival scenario. Most people don't think twice about their can opener. It's just a tool that sits in a drawer, used occasionally when the electric one isn't handy. But in a collapse, when electricity is no longer an option, manual can openers become indispensable. They're lightweight, durable, and easy to use, making them a must-have for anyone relying on canned goods to get through tough times. The problem is, most households don't have a backup manual can opener. Many rely solely on electric models, which are useless without power. And when panic buying begins, manual can openers are one of the first items to disappear from store shelves. People quickly realize their importance, leading to fights over the last few in stock. The value of a manual can opener goes beyond just opening cans. It's a tool that can mean the difference between eating and going hungry. Imagine having a pantry full of canned food but no way to access it. That's the reality many people face during disasters, and it's why this small tool becomes so highly sought after. To prepare, invest in a high-quality manual can opener now. Look for one with a sturdy build and a comfortable grip, as cheap models tend to break under heavy use. Keep a spare in your emergency kit, and consider buying a few extras for bartering. They'll be worth their weight in gold when others realize they're unprepared. In a collapse, the person with a working can opener isn't just prepared. They're a lifeline for their family and potentially their community. Don't wait until it's too late. Stock up now and ensure you're ready for whatever comes your way. 9. Clothespins and drying lines. The forgotten laundry essentials. When modern conveniences like washing machines and dryers become unavailable, the simple act of doing laundry turns into a major challenge. That's where clothespins and drying lines come in. These humble tools, often overlooked in favor of high-tech appliances, become essential for maintaining hygiene and cleanliness during a collapse. In a world without electricity, washing clothes by hand becomes the norm. But clean clothes are only half the battle. You also need a way to dry them. Clothespins and drying lines provide a simple, effective solution. They allow you to hang clothes outdoors or indoors, maximizing airflow and minimizing drying time. Without them, you're left draping wet clothes over furniture or laying them on the ground, which is far less efficient and can lead to mildew and odors. The importance of clean clothes in a survival scenario can't be overstated. Dirty clothes harbor bacteria and can lead to skin infections, especially when access to medical care is limited. FEMA and other disaster response organizations emphasize the importance of maintaining hygiene to prevent illness, and having a reliable way to wash and dry clothes is a key part of that. Clothespins and drying lines are also incredibly versatile. In addition to drying clothes, they can be used to secure tarps, hang blankets for privacy, or even create makeshift shelters. Their lightweight, compact design makes them easy to store and transport, and they're inexpensive enough to buy in bulk. Despite their utility, these items are often overlooked until they're desperately needed. During the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, for example, many people found themselves scrambling to set up makeshift laundry systems when laundromats closed and appliances broke down. Clothespins and drying lines quickly sold out in many areas, leaving those who hadn't prepared struggling to adapt. To avoid being caught off guard, stock up on clothespins and drying lines now. Look for durable, weather-resistant options that can withstand heavy use. Store them in a dry, accessible location, and consider adding a few extra sets to your emergency kit. When the collapse hits, these simple tools will prove invaluable for maintaining hygiene and adapting to a new way of life. 10. Baking soda. The all-purpose survival staple. Baking soda might seem like an odd item to fight over, but in a collapse scenario, its versatility makes it one of the most valuable household products you can own. This inexpensive, unassuming powder has dozens of uses, from cleaning and cooking to personal hygiene and medical care, making it a must-have for any prepper. In a world without access to modern cleaning supplies, baking soda becomes a go-to solution for keeping your home and belongings clean. It can be used to scrub surfaces, deodorize spaces, and even clean dishes when soap is unavailable. Its gentle abrasiveness makes it effective for removing grime without damaging surfaces, and its natural deodorizing properties help eliminate odors in everything from clothing to refrigerators. Baking soda is also a lifesaver in the kitchen. It's a key ingredient in baking, allowing you to make bread, pancakes, and other staples even when yeast is hard to come by. It can also be used to tenderize meat, neutralize acidic foods, and even put out small grease fires, a critical safety feature in a world without reliable emergency services. But the benefits of baking soda don't stop there. It's a powerful tool for personal hygiene, serving as a toothpaste, deodorant, and even a mild shampoo in a pinch. Its alkaline properties make it effective for soothing skin irritations, such as insect bites or rashes, and it can be used to create a simple antacid for relieving heartburn. In medical emergencies, baking soda can be a game changer. It can be used to clean wounds, create a saline solution for nasal irrigation, or even as a first aid treatment for minor burns. Its versatility makes it an essential part of any survival kit, and its long shelf life ensures it will be ready when you need it most. Despite its many uses, baking soda is often overlooked in favor of flashier survival gear. But when the collapse hits and supplies run out, its value becomes clear. During the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, for example, baking soda was one of the first items to disappear from store shelves as people scrambled to stock up on cleaning supplies and pantry staples. To prepare, buy baking soda in bulk now. Store it in airtight containers to keep it fresh, and consider dividing it into smaller portions for easy use and bartering. Its low cost and high utility make it one of the smartest investments you can make for your survival kit. Final thought. These bonus points, manual can openers, clothespins and drying lines, and baking soda highlight the importance of simple, everyday items in a survival scenario. They may seem ordinary now, but in a collapse, they'll become priceless tools for maintaining hygiene, accessing food, and adapting to a new way of life. Stock up while you can, because when the shelves are empty, these overlooked essentials could be the key to your survival.